Hey, it's Vital Signs. Simple, science-true health stories you can use. You spend a lifetime learning your body's rules. Then, somewhere around 80, the rules don't just loosen. They change. Not like a slow decay, but more like a software update you didn't approve. Systems you've trusted for decades start prioritizing survival over performance. That's not failure. That's strategy. And once you see the pattern, the strange little frustrations of late life, the bland coffee, the paper cut that won't close, the 3 a.m. wake-up, stop feeling random and start making sense. The first signal often sneaks in through the smallest gate: flavor. People think taste is just what your tongue does, but most of what you call taste is actually smell. Aromas looping through the nose to paint the meal in color. By your 80s, that sense dulls for millions. Food doesn't announce itself the way it used to. Soups flatten, fruit goes mute, and the kitchen, once a theater, turns into a quiet room. It's not picky eating, it's physiology rewriting the experience of flavor. Reports of taste change climb in the oldest age groups, and smell problems become strikingly common. And when smell fades, your taste seems to vanish with it. Some people answer the silence with salt and sugar. That's understandable, but it can be risky. With drier mouths, more medications, and less aroma, the hand drifts heavier over the shaker. The dessert spoon lingers. Quietly, blood pressure inches up, glucose runs higher, appetite runs lower, and the fridge lasts longer than it should because nothing calls you back for seconds. The hidden danger isn't just boredom, it's safety. Spoiled food announces itself through smell. A gas leak whispers the same way. If your world's scents are turned down, the warning lights dim with them. The fix isn't to bully yourself into more flavor, it's to work with biology. Bright acids like lemon, temperature contrast, herbs you can feel, crunch you can hear, and broths enriched with umami so you're satisfied sooner. If you're nodding because food has gone gray lately, quick pulse check. Is that you or someone you love? Drop a simple "me" in the comments so we can share practical flavor builders, not just theories. The second sign is almost rude in its honesty. Your skin stops acting like a fast learner. When you were 40, a nick from the pruning shears closed over before the weekend. In your 80s, that same nick lingers and reopens because the repair team moves like it's reading a smudged map. Fibroblasts, those little contractors that lay down scaffolding, don't take instructions as crisply. Tiny blood vessels are stiffer, collagen is less abundant and more fragmented, and the immune patrol arrives later and leaves earlier. You're not imagining the way bruises bloom from small taps, or how a bandage mark dents the skin longer. It's not bad luck skin. It's an organ that's traded speed for caution. The practical play isn't magical cream, it's thoughtful routine. Moisturize daily so mechanical stress is lower. Keep protein and vitamin C steady so the repair materials are on site, and guard the shins and forearms like assets, because they are. If a small wound seems slow, think airflow protection, not suffocation. Think gentle movement to drive a little circulation, not bedbound worrying. Healing still happens, just on a schedule that's honest about age. Then there's the brain, less a single change than a quiet rerouting project. White matter highways that carried thoughts and names at freeway speed get a few orange cones. The mind doesn't stop working, it chooses side streets. That's why you can tell the full story of the summer you met your partner, but blank on the name of the neighbor's dog. Emotionally tagged memory holds. Trivial lists leak. On some days, you'll step into a room and pause, not because the room stole your intention, but because 2 detours overlapped and the signposts flickered. The scary part is the feeling, am I slipping? But the mechanism is often adaptation, not collapse. The brain recruits parallel routes. It favors meaning over metadata. And when roots misfire, you get little fog banks that lift as quickly as they roll in. You don't fix this with panic. You feed it with novelty, a new recipe, a different walking path, a daily name game with the headlines, 5 minutes of sketching the mug in front of you. You're putting fresh lines on the map, so the next detour is faster than the last. That's neuroeconomics, late life edition. Economics shows up in muscle too, but here the accounting is blunt. After 80, catabolism and anabolism stop balancing like polite dance partners. The body burns a little more furniture to heat the house. That's what sarcopenia feels like from the inside. Not tired, but hollow. Steps get shorter. Chairs feel lower. The floor rises to meet you faster than you expect. This is the invisible cause of visible falls, and falls are the visible cause of everything else people fear. The antidote is not macho heroics. It's stubborn, light, consistent work. 10 chair stands in the morning, 10 in the afternoon. A wall push-up each time you boil water. A resistance band looped near the kettle, used for 20 slow pulls while the tea steeps. Protein isn't a bodybuilding fad. It's lumber for repair. A palm-sized portion at each meal, plus a dairy or legume anchor, invites muscle to stick around. Call it strength rent. You pay it daily, so stability doesn't evict you suddenly. The reward isn't just lifting the groceries, it's faster thinking, steadier moods, better immunity. Muscle is a secret pharmacy. When you keep it, the rest of you gets the prescription filled on time. And then there's time itself. You don't just feel older, your days slide earlier, like the sun moved without asking. The master clock in your brain still ticks, but the cues that kept it synchronized, especially morning light, arrive weaker through older eyes, and the wiring that broadcasts, now it's night, now it's day, isn't as punchy. You fall asleep too soon, you wake in the dark, you drift after breakfast, and then you're wide awake when everyone else is dozing on the couch at 9 p.m. That's not bad sleep hygiene. It's a phase shift. The stakes are bigger than feeling off. Deep, regular sleep is when your brain does housekeeping, moving metabolic trash toward the curb. If sleep gets chopped up, cleanup falls behind. That doesn't mean you're doomed. It means the levers matter. See the sun early. 10 minutes of outdoor light before 10 a.m., even on a cloudy day. Dim the house in the last 2 hours before bed so your internal night actually starts. Anchor your meal times. Clocks in the liver listen to forks as much as eyes. Gentle movement during daylight, walks, stretches, small chores, adds its daytime signals to every tissue. If you're awake at 3, don't wage war on the pillow. Sit up, read 2 pages of something boring under low light, then try again. You're teaching the clock like you'd teach a child. Calmly, consistently, never with shouting. Small wins compound. Notice the pattern? None of this screams catastrophe. It's a coordinated shift. Less thrill, more safeguard, less sprint, more endurance. The body trims certain luxuries, explosive power, instant flavor fireworks, overnight repair speeds, to preserve deeper essentials. That's why late life feels different, but not senseless. When you meet it where it is, it meets you back. People will try to sell you miracles. You don't need a miracle. You need a few specific habits that respect the new rule book. Build flavor with acid and herbs instead of a salt avalanche. Keep your mouth moist. Water on the table. Sugar-free gum if your provider says it's okay. So aroma actually lands. Protect the skin you're in with lotion and long sleeves when you're pruning the roses. Keep protein ordinary and frequent. Sprinkle resistance through the day instead of pretending you'll suddenly become a gym person at 85. Treat light like medicine. Get a dose in the morning, reduce it at night, and teach your brain to enjoy small puzzles again. It's hungry for roots, not records. If any of this feels like your life, you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're adapted for a new phase. That shift can be kinder than it sounds, because what stays strong late is the part of you that actually makes life feel like life, meaning. You may forget the name of a new neighbor, but you can still hold the smell of your childhood kitchen like a photograph. You may walk slower, but you'll notice more faces. You may sleep earlier, but sunrise will belong to you. 2 quick favors to keep this useful. First, tell me one tiny change you're willing to test this week. More lemon and herbs, 10 chair stands, or 10 minutes of morning light. I read every note. Second, if someone you love is drifting into this phase without a map, share this so they know what's happening and why it doesn't have to be scary. And if you want a 1-page checklist summarizing the simple actions from this video, say checklist and I'll add it for you next. You can't argue with time, but you can bargain with it, politely, daily, and effectively. The body at 80 isn't falling apart, it's negotiating. If you learn the language, you'll be surprised how often it says yes.